What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the Crimson Lounge, back at it again with another episode of Primordials Bounty. Say hi, everybody.
Hello. I guess
don't misinform, I just lie.
I'm back.
Yes, we're back. Unfortunately, Ann is not with us. Don't know why. We'll move on, like we always do.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, unfortunately, Sonic's back.
Unfortunately, Sonic's back. We all are going to die. Anyways, welcome back. You have missed a lot over the past few days.
I have. I thought it was 3.
No, it was 2.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
it
just
was,
didn't
yeah, it was
play-
two.
Yeah, it was 2. But yeah. Anything interesting that happened for you guys over the past couple of weeks?
Nothing not too interesting, no.
Nothing outside of my usual chaos, anyway.
Yeah, pretty much. My own personal campaign's going on the roll pretty well. Earlier in the day, we went through a wild magic zone in one of my other games I'm in, and it was fun. Someone got hit by a bolt of lightning, but was also in another dimension, so he was safe. A person was in a biplane that was hopping somehow.
Wild magic. Just the purest form of chaos, and for some reason...
Turns out your DM was using the 1D 10,000 table.
No, I was using the 1D100, lucky enough. I farted a fog cloud.
Well,
no, I'm not joking, literally.
No, I believe it. I believe you. I mean, part of me feels like it should have been a stinking cloud. That would have been better. So far in my IRL games, we're doing fine. We haven't died yet. There hasn't been a TPK. Thank fucking God. Apparently, one of the portals in the manor that we were investigating would have led us to the Elder Brain, where we would have died instantly. So that was fun. Other than that, outside of D&D, I finally watched the Devil May Cry anime.
Oh.
I can see why some people in the DMC community aren't a big fan of it. I can also see why people like the show. For me, it's good to watch. I give it like a 7 out of 10.
It's just okay to watch. It's good to watch.
Yeah, it's okay. Animation's fine. The music that they use for it, which I will tell you right now, Limp Bizkit's Rolling is the intro for the show.
Ooh.
So, but like at the very end, it gets in a little bit too much into politics for my liking. And I'm not a big fan of Lady. She curses way too much.
Wow.
Like, doesn't she curse all the time anyways?
I don't think in the game she does. At least I don't remember. But I just know that every sentence she does, and every sentence she says, there's always a shit or a fuck.
Well, you're gonna get called out so hard as someone in the comments comes and talks about that.
What fucking comments is barren? Like the amount of fucks I give in my plantation.
Yep, we're already at 5. We're already at 5. Let's go.
Alright. Well, anyways, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into the recap, shall we? When last we left our crew, Zilyana the Succubus Witch, Starzin the Lalafell Artificer, Sips the Slimefolk Monk, and Tide the Water Genasi Jaeger. The crew returned to Everpeak, finding the village beginning the slow process of rebuilding after the devastating raid on their village. They quickly report to the Ocean Knight, sharing what they learned about the druid elf who commanded blight monsters and has rendered traveling through the Everglow forest nearly impossible. The Ocean Knights advised them to seek out a priest of Fiane in Frostgate, a fortified village guarding the northern bridges of the island. That night, Starzin and Tide found themselves revisiting old wounds again. They discussed their separate, yet strikingly similar dreams that they had, visions of the raid on Starzin's village, with new and disturbing details surfacing. A soldier killing another in the chaos, and a strange necklace marked with a sword and an eye in the middle. Their conversation spiraled into a heated and emotional conversation as both began to suspect the truth. Black Blade mercenaries, not the militia alone, were behind the destruction. This exchange nearly came to blows, leaving their relationship deeply strained. Upon arriving to Frostgate, the crew investigate the priest's home, only to find it ransacked and abandoned. In the bedroom, they discovered a dead body, and with Razira's use of Speak with Dead, they uncovered vital clues. On their final question, the spirit reveals the priest has been taken to an ancient ruined temple of Fiane on the outskirts of the island. With tensions high and their mission now more urgent than ever, the question remains: what do you guys want to do?
Okay. So, so we know that this temple is a day's walk south of Frostgate, right?
That's what the dead body said, yes.
All right. Cool. So I guess that's our next move.
We were gonna go, if I remember correctly, I was gonna go alert the guards about the body and the entry and everything, and you were gonna go after the shop guy who also is a follower of Fiane.
Yeah, we were gonna go there and give him a heads up.
Yeah.
Sips, I will say it has been a couple of days since you were in your last form. I do have to ask, what color are you changing to?
I will choose blue.
Okay. You are now blue, dabba-dee, dabba-die.
My favorite color. Probably Sips' favorite.
So yes, you guys are in Frostgate. Like what Boss said, Tide was going to go talk to the guards, while whoever else wants to go talk to the shopkeeper, go there.
Which was going to be me, primarily.
Yeah, pretty much. Unless Sips wants to join.
No, I think I would like to go to the guards with the boss.
Oh.
Oh.
This is an interesting turn of events.
Before that happens, would you like to roll an insight check?
Me?
Yes.
Insight? Sure. I would love to roll insight.
Well, the sighting of in.
The sighting of in is 13.
I'm going to say this is probably over the course of when you guys left Everpeak to Frostgate. What is Starzin's and Tide's demeanor with an insight of 13? Towards each other, I mean.
Towards each other? Ooh, that'd actually be really kind of hard to say.
Kinda hard to say, yeah. Like, most of the time...
From your travel from Everpeak to Frostgate.
Okay. From most of the time, Tide is just appearing to be more duty-focused, trying to focus on getting this job and task done like a soldier. But the times when he does glance towards where Starzin's is and so forth, his mood seems to be more frustrated or soured or something on those lines.
Starzin, on the other hand, while just trying to keep focused on what they're doing, is just anytime Tide's around, he's just fighting back feelings of resentment and anger. I guess is the best way I can describe it. Resentment and anger, and it's like he's trying to hold it back.
So yeah, that's what you get with that insight check, Sips.
And I get to be in the middle of this.
Yeah. So, with that being said, I guess we can go ahead and start with Tide and Sips as you make your way to the guard station.
Mm-hmm.
You head back to the guard station where you see the familiar two soldiers that are out guarding the front entrance of the barracks.
Mm-hmm. Alright, immediately Ty's just gonna go up to one of the guards. And, I'm pretty sure you would probably, request if their captain is still around. Captain, sorry. Ugh.
Yeah, okay, so seeing that it's you and they're familiar, yeah, they can go ahead and get their captain real fast, as, after a couple of minutes, the captain of the barracks comes out. Ah, it's you again. I take it that you are in need of, transportation now?
No, not exactly. It's actually something far worse. Me and my companion here, and some of the others, went to go visit a priest for Fiane for the quest. The job I told you about, right? Well,
Yes, I remember.
when they made it there... Well, when they made it there, they didn't discover the priest, but they discovered his home's been ransacked, and there's a corpse in his bed.
Alright then, anything else to report then? Did you find anything while you're in, his house or anything like that?
Well, the only thing we figured out was, one, the person the corpse in his bed was among the kidnappers. Obviously.
Oh, it's good to know that the priest might be still alive.
Yeah. Along with it, we also found out that he did put up quite a struggle. Or at least we assumed. The only other thing is that the kidnappers are tied with the attack.
I see. It's definitely no coincidence that they would kidnap a priest while the Everglow forest is inaccessible to outsiders.
Yeah. There's one more bit of information. Somehow, one of our companions used a magic trick, let's put it that way. How much do I know that, using spells like, Speak with the Dead is favorable in this land? Or in these nations?
Oh, using necromancy spells is perfectly okay. Just how you use it is the problem.
Okay.
The only people that will have problems with using necromancy spells to either talk with the dead or reanimate them or stuff like that are... Actually, I'm going to go ahead and roll me a religion check, actually.
Okay. Religion. One of the best skills I ever heard. Oh, it's not that bad. 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately you're not really well versed with the other gods, so I'm going to have to say that you don't pass on that one.
No, that makes sense.
The religion? Damn.
He's not too focused on religious stuff. That makes sense. But you said talking with the dead might be iffy.
No, it's not iffy. Only... If you would have succeeded, you would have known what would be iffy about it. But so far, necromancy is an okay spell to use.
Okay. Well, he will just say one of the companions pried much more information from the body, or at least from what knowledge it retained. And we got a name of the captain. Do you know anything about a captain? Let me see if I wrote the name right. Morana.
I wrote it down.
Vilskirts?
Morana Vilstrix, yeah.
Vilstrix. Okay. Morana Vilstrix. Does that name ring any bells?
Let me roll for our dear old captain. As soon as I can find a dice.
Laugh with your big dice jar, GM.
Oh, you mean this one?
Oh,
Your big, thick, and full dice jar.
That was the sound of me shaking it from the kitchen. Alright, D20. You know a lot, Capitan.
Oh,
Let's-
Captain, my Captain, what knowledge do you retain?
Okay, so after a minute, he goes ahead and pulls out a book, or not a book, a folder that contains a whole lot of papers. As he skims through it, you see that this folder contains bounties of either collected or still in large people that are still out as a threat in the Leviathan Empire. As he flips over and he goes ahead and points at the picture of the of the who you're looking for, and he goes ahead and says, Morana Thornheart Vilstrix. Yeah, we've had her wanted poster for quite some time. She is a 5-star bounty from the last time I've heard of her.
5-star? That's quite a lot, isn't it? If I remember correctly, yeah, that is pretty high of a bounty, or decently high.
It's an average. If I recall
Oh,
correctly, it's like
average.
based on 10 stars, so
Right.
Oh,
5
it's based
star
on
is about
10
midway.
stars. Okay.
Yeah, if it's because Joe does it at like 10 star is the highest, 1 star is the lowest. 5 star would be in the middle, so we're dealing with an intermediately dangerous bounty.
Yeah, 5 stars can. Yeah, 5 stars are high-level threats, leader of major crime activities, or dangerous repeat offenders. Essentially, they're people to not mess with. Essentially,
Okay.
Medium to high priority threats.
correct. Let's see here. Morana Vilstrix, 5-star bounty with over 7,000 gold piece reward. Known for many things, such as plundering and killing and murdering and arsony and along those lines, along with the occasional dabble in shadow magic.
Definitely have an interesting one. Definitely just hasn't had to be 5 stars. Then again, it makes the most sense. Somebody any lower of that rank would have been way easier to have been caught by all this. What else do you know?
Honestly, we don't really know much except that she and some parts of her crew uses shadow magic to enact their crimes, essentially.
Shadow magic. Do I know anything about shadow magic? Like, so far this is not picking up in Tide's head when I'm thinking about it. So far he's seen plenty of druidic stuff, but so far nothing of shadow orientation.
I'll give you another religion check.
Okay.
Let's see you do it again.
Better than before, 11.
Oh, you beat 10 this time at least. You beat a 10 at least.
Well,
yeah.
At most, you would know based off of what Rilzira talked about. The only god that is related to shadow magic and stuff like that would be Skaith, the god of shadows and madness.
Okay. Well, that's better than nothing. I guess I fill them in on the rest of what we're planning on doing. You're gonna have to keep hold on those transport that I issued. We're gonna be going after some sort of ruins set somewhere near in town.
I'll try and see if any of her crew has a bounty on them as well. And
That
give
would
you
be
the
good.
information as soon as I find it.
That would be really nice.
Alright. Is there anything else I can provide?
I looked at Sips. So far, that's all I needed. Anything you want to ask? Anything you want to ask the captain, Sips?
Nothing.
Anyways, as that happens, the captain goes ahead and turns around and orders orders one of the guards to gather up a group and head over to where the priest lives and investigate that area further, see if they can find up any clues and warn off and basically set up a perimeter to keep an eye on just in case that they decide to come back. And after which he turns to you and says, We'll try to see what we can come up with. Best of luck on your hunt.
He just nods and does the salute.
The captain does a salute back as he marches into the barracks.
This point on, Tide will be following Sips back to that the store that they were at in the past, because I think she would know.
So I have a question.
What do you have a question about?
I don't remember. Because I've been gone for a bit, and I just don't remember. Do I know about Tide and Creepah's beef right now?
I don't think you do, unless they've said something out. Unless they have said something to. The only person that knows, I think, is Sorry, what?
I know who it is. I think it's
Iris.
Yeah, Iris.
Yeah, that's probably the only one that would know per se. So,
Right.
Other than that, I don't think.
So Sips is actually going to talk to Tide while we're walking back from this.
Okay.
Excuse me, Tide.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it just me, or is there something going on?
Going on with
You and Starzin.
Oh. You see him kind of look. You see him look away, trying to be more focused. It's complicated.
Look, if you need someone to talk to, you can talk to me about it.
Guess might as well. Sorry, one other person knows about this. Won't be too surprised if things go south. That your whole crew will know. How much do you know about what happened to him in his past? Starzin, I mean.
I honestly don't remember. Have you told us about your past before, Starzin?
If I have, I've probably only told bits and pieces and only, like, pocket information. Like, the most probably anybody outside of Iris would probably know at this point is that the war forced him out of his home on Terra. That's probably the extent that anyone would realistically know at this point.
Okay. The most that I know is that the war took away everything from him.
I think the only other person that would know about your village being burned down, I think, would be Brutus. Because there was that one point when you guys were in Windy Hill, at one of the ogre camps, where you had an episode, and I think you explained to Brutus what happened a little bit.
Yeah, well, in that regard, the only other two people, well, technically it would be Brutus and Jade, because Jade was right there too.
Well, you've left enough hints. I know that.
That something tragic did happen.
Because when Sips does her things, you kind of agree, and Sips would know, like, she would have an understanding with, I think she does have an understanding with Starzin being like, something bad happened, but she doesn't know what.
Yeah, because Iris is the only one that knows the full story. Brutus and Jade only know enough to know that the war forced him would know that the war forced him from his home, but also that it burned. But beyond that, they know nothing.
Yeah. I just have a feeling that something bad happened. And as far as I know you can't return home.
Yeah.
So
I think
yeah,
that's a fair assessment.
yeah. So Sips would reasonably say, with her deduction, say, well, all that I know is I think the war took everything from him. And he's not able to return back to, well, his family or his home.
He, at this point, would actually try to take a less, populated path on going back. You know, well, they are going to a path with less crowd. Well, if you really want the greatest details, I think you should ask him. It's his story to tell, but to put it long and short, I also know why I was there.
And it sounds like it's your story as well.
Yeah,
So tell me yours, son.
okay. I was a normal ocean knight, part of the infantry of the 108th Cavalry. Of the 108th Company, to be more exact. We were pulled and chosen by our captain, our higher rankers, to go off on a search for some Phoenix Kingdom's rogues. Supposedly they were in this village of Lalafell's. Supposedly they were keeping them there, and we were meant to infiltrate and get them out. But before I even knew anything else happened, everything went crazy and insane. Fire broke out, burned down the village, people were getting killed and hurt. Before I knew it, I was disobeying orders and trying to help people, and I found 2 adult Lalafells. They appeared to be potentially related, so I guessed father and son, maybe something. Before I knew it, an explosion happened in their home, and father was dying, and he begged me to save his son. So I picked up the kid with lost arm, completely blown off, and just took him somewhere hidden. Gave him my emergency potion to save his life, and for a good portion of a year or something, while I was still in the army, while I was still in the Ocean Knights, I thought I did a massacre. I thought I was a hand in all this. And I resigned. I left, and now I'm this. He gestures to himself. A roaming hunter trying to make enough money for his wife and daughter. That incident took a lot out of him, but he wasn't the only one suffered. A lot of people did. And I knew even some other good Ocean Knights who resigned because of all this. We thought we were doing something good. But in fact, we were just being played by the hands of wrath. He gets very venomous when he says that. You could see visible anger.
Sips would sit there silently for a little bit, allowing you to just feel your emotion before she reaches out and touches your shoulder.
He jumps a little, calming down.
It's okay. I think you made the right choice.
I just wish he notices that. He hates me. He despises me. He even wished I didn't save him.
He also has a lot to feel, and so do you.
I won't lie. I do hate myself for what happened. All the things I could have done. All the things I could have stopped. But at this point, fuming on it isn't going to help anybody. It won't help that priest. It won't help my children. It won't help him get back to his mother and sister. Sips, how good of a person are you?
She kind of is surprised at that question. You can see visibly she kind of like freezes for a second and says, "How good of a person?" You see her. You see her just sit there silently for a second. She kind of looks up in the air and looks up on the ground, looks to the ground, and then she finally settles on you.
He has just been staring and looking at you as we stopped at this point.
I think I think a person being good or evil is rather relative, actually. However, I think I'm a good person. I try to make other people's lives better. But I do understand that sometimes when I try to do a good thing, it might end up causing harm to someone.
I understand that.
I don't think the world is as simple as whether someone's good or evil. I think you have to look a little bit deeper.
You're pretty wise.
Let's just say my outlook has been changed a little bit. I'm realizing not everything's as it seems to be.
And and that's more right than I had ever thought of. The reason why we're angry at each other for the most part is because what we found out in some dream thing we had. I thought I was going crazy for a second, but when he talked about a specific emblem in one of the Ocean Knights, I knew something was up. Apparently somewhere, some people, members of the Black Blades, mercenary company of the Warlord of Wrath, infiltrated our ranks in that and probably caused all this. Caused all this to happen to him. I don't know why, but something is going on. You see him actually pull out his insignia, the thing of the Ocean Knights. I don't know how much I can help with him, but... And he takes your hand and puts it in your hand and closes it. If you use that and use my name and my rank, and what company I was part of, maybe some of the other Ocean Knights, as long as you're my friend, may be allies to you as well. Maybe when you go off and see more about what's going on with this past and what happened that day. And if I'm not around to help, use that.
I'm writing it down on my sheet.
Mm-hmm.
She kind of looks surprised at that. The sudden gesture. Okay. I'll do my best to help then.
I pulled in my end of my promise to save him. And now at this point, I don't know if he still wants my help in all this. But at least this, if it gets him that extra mile to achieve that goal, well, I call that a win.
You know, he may not want your help. But I think you also want to figure out and find out what really happened that day. And bring to justice the ones who did it. I think even if you split off now, your paths may cross again in the future.
Maybe. But for now, that's for the future to decide. Well, actually, it's more like the past would decide the future, I guess.
I think you had it right the first time. She will put the insignia away in her pocket and says, "At least I know a little bit what's going on now. When I find an opportunity, I will see if I can talk to Starzin."
Be there for him. Wherever the hell he's going to go next, he'll be paved with blood and fire. And I think at this point, Tide will just keep walking. Or go back to walking.
Yeah, Sip stands there for a moment, just giving some thought, and then just shakes her head and continues walking, following Tide.
All right. So, while that was happening, we move on over to Starzin. So you arrive back at the Gates Provision as the little bell rings as you open up the door, and you see the forest gnome fella at the front desk like usual, and say, "Ah, you're back."
Yeah, we
Did you talk to the priest? Is he doing all right?
look, there's no easy way to say this, but we actually found out he was kidnapped.
Kidnapped? What do you mean kidnapped?
We went to his house and found out the place was completely ransacked. Like, someone broke in and there was a massive struggle. We even found that there was a someone we know was affiliated with the people who attacked what is it? Everpeak.
Oh, that's terrible. That's... Oh, you think he'll be all right?
Well, we know for certain that he is at least still alive. They need him alive. We know he's being taken to a ruin outside of Frostgate. Something about an ancient ruin of Fiane, about a day's walk from here. Do you know anything about that?
Let's see here. I think I might know. Let me. I'll be back. Give me 1 second. As he hops down from his stool and to the back room.
I love that.
Alright, I think I found what we're looking for. Yes, I think I remember there being a temple right on the outskirts of right around here. As he goes and pulls out a map of Everglow, and he goes ahead and marks it down on the map right here.
I see.
Yes. So, it is what the Orc Man told you when you were casting Speak with Dead on him is true. It is roughly about a day's journey from here. However, it's not really south, considering its location.
South. It would be more southeast.
Yeah, pretty much.
Technically more eastward than south, but it is south.
Yeah,
enough
that
to be
too.
classified. Yeah, but it is south enough to be classified as quote-unquote southeast.
I remember he talked about this temple way back, that he used to run the temple back in its heyday. Before the First Great War happened, at least. Or was it the Second Great War? No, I think it was the Second Great War when this happened.
So that
Continue.
really must have been a long time ago.
Yeah, it was. It got to the point where the people of worship of other gods besides Ursi and Erail got a little less and less per se, to the point where the temple was long since abandoned, and so they went into the center of the Everglow Forest, as that was where one of Fiane's gifts were, providing us the Everglow Forest and the lake that's within the middle.
Well then, that just brings up some questions, but I'm not sure if we really have time to really dwell on them is the problem.
But they might lead to some answers.
I just can't figure out why take him if they were planning on using him to get into to do something with Everglow to Everglow Forest. Why take him to that old temple not far from here?
Maybe because it's so out of the way, nobody would look for an ancient, decrepit temple?
That's actually a fair enough point. Panicking head. I'm not thinking straight. Okay.
As you say that, he just slides you a cup of hot piping tea.
Thank you. He takes a sip of it takes a deep breath to regain his composure and just starts thinking a bit more. It tries to settle his head to think more clearly.
It's a bit bitter, but it has a calming aroma to it.
Well, gives him something else to focus on for a moment. Okay, so now the only other thing I can think of is what is it what is it do these people have to gain from doing what they're doing to Everglow Forest? Could it be possibly related to what's at the center?
The only thing at the center of the forest is the Temple of Fiane and the Sacred Lake.
Sacred Lake. Do you know anything about the temple or the lake, by any chance?
Well, I don't know much about it. Never been there myself, mostly because I have a nice and cozy house here in Frostgate. But what Mr. Zalrin told me about the lake, that it is believed that is the reason why the Everglow Forest Dwell is ever glowing. There is also the belief that it contains raw fey magic from Fiane herself.
So a sacred lake with enough magic that potentially has fey magic, and is what keeps the forest glowing. But then what do people who primarily use blights have to gain from invading the forest?
The shopkeeper shudders at that. Did you say blights?
Yes. When we originally tried to take a pilgrimage inside for one of my companions, we met this... I don't know if druid is the right word, but she was someone with druidic powers, but something that didn't feel druidic. She was able to command and create blights. There were ones that could like lash at you with vines, ones that could shoot needles, and then one that she boasted of her own creation was a fungal blight, a giant mushroom that spewed spores.
Well, based off of your description, it sounds like that they're followers of Skaith.
Skaith. Rosira mentioned him a bit.
Blights are basically plant constructs corrupted with shadow magic, and Skaith is known for using shadow magic to corrupt things that Fiane creates.
That must be why they need him to get in or to do something to the forest. They're trying to corrupt it.
Oh, that's no good.
Do you know if blights have any form of weakness or any that use the shadow magics?
This is a good roll for this. Out of the tray. Unfortunately, I don't know much about blights. All I know is that they're created from dark magic. But I would be careful with this druidic woman.
Trust me, we already are kind of familiar with her level of power.
Well, what I mean is, most people who follow Skaith are the main people that follow Skaith are hags and witches.
Ah, crap.
Along with that, Skaith was also known for creating things called aberrations. Monsters that come from your nightmares into reality.
Well, I guess we'll have to prepare for that. Well, at least we won't be going into this blind.
Wait here one moment. As he goes ahead and puts down a very fine, ornate bottle on the counter, and he slides it over to you. You can take this if it will help you on your journey. That is a superior healing potion.
Ooh.
I only have the one, but the one should be good.
Well, this definitely might come in handy. Although hopefully things won't go bad enough to where we need it. But it doesn't hurt to be prepared. Thank you. And I promise we'll do everything we can to bring Mr. Thulren back in one piece. And alive and kicking.
He goes ahead and nods at that as he gives a quick... As he basically claps his hands together and give a prayer. May Fiain's magic guide you, or protect you.
Or both.
Or both.
He nods and then turns to leave.
Alright, you go ahead and you leave. I would say at this point, you lot would meet up at this point.
Okay.
As you head out and you perhaps converge. Talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah. Well, I alerted the guard captain about everything. And he was he gave us some quite a bit of information.
Okay.
This captain, Morana Thornheart Vilstrix. She's a 5-star, and she's known for black magic dealings. Black magic or shadow magic?
They're the same. They're the same.
Okay. Utilizing and dealing in pretty much, shadow magic and all sorts.
Well, I guess that just confirms what we already know about the whole crew using it. Or at least suspected.
The captain's already also looking into their crew to see if there are any additional bounties. He'll try to inform us as soon as he can.
Well, at least they're on high alert and know who they're dealing and know who to look for.
They're also going to do more patrols and look around and see if there are any of their crew members are still lingering.
Smart idea. Well, I talked to the shopkeeper. I know where the temple is exactly. It's gonna be a little different than what we initially thought, as the temple is southeast and it's roughly a day's away. But I know where it is. Thanks to him telling me on the map.
That's good.
So far, as for what we're dealing with, and why they're doing things, I think I have an idea of what they're doing.
Well, enlighten us.
It's very possible that these guys are worshippers of Skaith and are emboldened by his magic. And from what I was told, they seem to revel in corrupting Fiain's magic. So there's a good chance they're trying to find a way to corrupt Everglow Forest in its entirety.
And what's an Everglow Forest exactly? I thought you guys said it was some sort of temple.
There is. There's a temple and a sacred lake. The lake is said to it gives the Everglow Forest its glowing property, but also it's said to contain an essence of Fiain's magic herself.
That's bad.
Yeah, no kidding.
Putting two and two together, people who like corrupting Fiain's stuff, a portion of Fiain's own power. Yeah, this is not good.
I also learned some information about the woman casting those blights. There is a good chance that she may have some hag or witch abilities with her, as opposed to just regular druidic magic.
Well, that's one thing we can at least assure of assumption. They didn't have any information or any ideas of what they could possibly do other than stereotypical shadow practices. So it's probably the best assumption.
Agreed. Now, we need to get to that temple as soon as possible. if Mr. Tholrin is still alive, which he should be because of how much they need him, we should be able to get there and save him and potentially put a stop to this.
Ty just nods at that. And if we're unlucky enough, he might not be there, or they might be dead. But then we can probably get some clues if he's left anything behind.
Let's hope
he's alive.
Let's hope not. Agreed. Let's hope he's still. We need to hope he's still alive. If he's alive, we can at least get more information and maybe gain an upper hand against them.
All right.
All right.
Well, as you prepare yourself for the journey ahead to find Mr. Tholrin in the ancient temple of Fienne, I'll say this room will take a bit of a break.
Okay.
Oh. The fuck was that?
Probably a fan.
No. The oh.
I think that was... I don't know who it was.
It
wasn't
sounded
me.
like Creepah that said that.
It kind of did. Oh.
Anyways, we'll be right back after this. And we're back! Alrighty then. So, are you all ready to head out to find this temple?
Ready.
Alrighty then. So, in that case then, Starzin, go ahead and move the token 5 spaces towards your destination.
Roger.
Roger.
Alright, I need somebody to roll me a d20.
You know, I've been rolling them a lot. Who wants to roll?
Oh, you beat him to me. You
That's a 15.
beat me to it.
Should have been quicker on the draw.
I was eating.
I feel bad for talentless players.
Damn, you guys have been getting really lucky with this. I might need to change up the encounter table a bit. As you guys are traveling, Rilzira, the only NPC in your party right now besides, Zilyana, but we don't talk about
T-posing
Zilyana
Zill.
right now. Yeah.
T-posing Zill.
Yeah, exactly. Rilzira is just looking over the book and looking over her manuscripts and stuff like that, and she looks up to you and says, "Now, are you sure that these people are associated with Scathe?"
Well, honestly, the only thing we don't have to confirm it is the fact that they've come out and said it. But considering the fact that they are using shadow magic and magic that corrupts, and considering how I described it affecting plants and blights, at least the shopkeeper seemed convinced that they were affiliated with Scathe.
I see. Well, the reason why I ask is because I'm going to be researching on the god to see what we're more up against, per se.
Nothing good. From what I've already found out, nothing good.
Yeah, I can second that, based off of my research.
The worst part about all this is that I wonder how far they've gone, and even just how long they've been there. Force is already working with them to protect them from us.
Well, that's hard. That would be hard to say. Some stuff isn't exactly an overnight development. But then again, if things have been building, then I don't like to think about that.
If they are worshippers of Scathe, we need to keep an eye out for this symbol right here. As she turns it over and you see a picture of a black rose surrounded by a circle of thorns.
Well,
Tide will be engraving that in his mind.
Starzin's gonna.
Sorry.
Starzin's gonna make a roughly quick sketch of it in a notebook that it is in his notes.
Yes, the origin of this symbol was because long ago, I think I've already said it, but just in case, I'll explain it again. Essentially, long ago, Fiane was gifted a rose by Ulk, the god of corruption and evil, at one point, and she put her. I think she was tricked into grabbing it, but when she did, she pricked her finger on the thorn of the rose, and the shadows and corruption was about to take her, so she had to cast off her shadow in order to save her own life. In doing so, created Scathe.
So it'll be best to keep an
Yeah,
eye
that's
out,
all.
keep our eyes out for those in case they're left any marks or symbols behind. Might be a clue.
Even with gods, there's always complications.
Well, whenever there's good, there's evil. Whenever it comes to gods, there's always going to be those that want to get rid of or corrupt.
Unfortunately, it seems like neither side. See, and it more often than not, it also seems unfortunately that neither side is willing to give ground on that front.
What ground
just
are they
really help.
supposed to give?
I mostly just mean in the sense of they're not willing, is that they keep going and don't back down when the other calls them out on their bullshit.
Well, I mean, I don't think they have a problem with calling out on Ulk's bullshit, since what he does is literally in the title of what he is known for. Just the matter of, he's very crafty with how he does his thing.
I mean, I gathered and I know it's just, sometimes I just hate having to think about the greater things of it and how it affects the rest of the realms, mortal worlds, and all stuff like that.
On top of that, Scathe actually created 3 lesser gods.
What are these?
Wouldn't surprise me.
So the first one is Doloria, the goddess of pain and fear. Her symbol is of a broken mask with a tear. She basically manipulates emotions to induce dread and agony. And her domain is of pain, so be wary of that if we ever come across a cleric of pain.
Good to know.
Then there's Phobius, the god of nightmares. His symbol is a twisted, thorny vine encircling a crescent moon. Basically, he's the reason why nightmares exist in the first place, or he at least domains that. He governs it, per se.
Mm-hmm.
And lastly, there is Nocens, the god of forbidden knowledge. His symbol is the black scroll with a crimson seal. Nocens is basically, he guards the secrets that mortals are not meant to uncover. He tempts scholars and seekers of, with the allure of hidden truth, essentially. He holds the secret knowledge so he can tempt those with it.
And I'm assuming with those temptations, he just leads them to ruin.
Well, kind of-ish. I mean, hags sometimes follow Nocens because of the forbidden knowledge. Basically, curses are considered to be forbidden knowledge in some circles of Fiane.
Ah, I see. So not necessarily the concept of forbidden knowledge, more of what could be considered a forbidden knowledge to others.
Yes. Essentially, those who think that mortals should not have this, he collects them and tries to tempt people with that knowledge to join his side. Like, for example, the knowledge of becoming a lich.
I see now. I see.
Yeah, basically any secrets that are in this world, he might know, and he might tempt you with how to claim those secrets.
Well, that's another good thing to watch out for. As I have learned enough that there are some things that are not meant to be known and should stay hidden.
I agree.
I really am hoping the others are okay, though.
Did you have some way of communicating with them?
Not reliably.
Funny enough, as you say that, a familiar paper bird comes flying towards you.
Oh, I actually still... Oh, wait, that was sent to us?
Yes.
Okay. Huh? Oh, this is one of Metra's little paper birds.
You go ahead and unfold it, and sure enough, it's from Metra. She informs you that the message has been sent to Evermist, and a notice has been sent to Everfrost as well. And with this paper bird is another paper bird you can send back to her, letting her know what the group should be heading to next. Where should we meet up at?
Okay. He's going to take out the new paper and basically give them a sit rep of what's going on. Basically explaining that they're currently en route to an old temple of Fiane outside of Frostgate to rescue a priest and he'll give information as to who they're dealing with and what they're potentially capable of, and that ultimately the goal is to return to Everpeak. Is to rendezvous for them is to get back to Frostgate and then Everpeak. So I guess Everpeak would be the best rendezvous point.
All right. You write that down, you fold up the paper into a paper bird, and you throw it in the air, and it flutters off.
Here's hoping they get that message quickly.
All right.
Here's hoping.
Anyways, as you guys travel a little bit further into the snowy wasteland of Everglow, night comes to a fall, and I'll say this is where we talk about rations. Looks at Clyde.
Oh, baby!
Why are we talking about rations?
Because I still don't know where your rations are on your character sheet.
Right there. I got 5 of them.
Now, the reason why I say that is because it was originally not... I had to activate that because I thought that was where they are. It was not equipped.
Oh. It's because they're, like, in my bag. I don't know. I, like, unequipped a bunch of things that were in my bag. When I put down my bag during a fight one time, and then I forgot to, I guess, re-equip them.
Your fucking inventory is a nightmare.
I know what goes on in my inventory.
Yeah, but I don't when I have to take control of your character, and that's the problem. Organize! Motherfucker!
It looks organized to me. What are you talking about? I'll eat a rash.
Organizational woes, everybody.
Like, for example, what are you doing with the Pangu fat? Who has that? Why do you have it? Fucking...
Yeah, man, I have it for reasons.
For reasons.
For reasons.
Okay, why?
Hear me out.
Yeah?
I want the Pangu fat because the fat is what makes the meat taste really good. So I'm going to use it in my cooking.
Okay, then why do you have the golden medallion still?
Where's the golden medallion?
Under Mistral's Edge.
Golden locket. Golden medallion. Where was that from? Let me see.
That was the medallion that uses to switch out NPCs.
Wait, why does Sips have that, not Zilyana?
Because originally Sips picked it up. And
Yeah,
gave
because I
it
originally
to...
picked it up. There. It is removed from my sheet. I just simply didn't remove it.
Now, with that being said, you are encumbered.
Yes. Except the Pengu fat's in my bag, so as soon as I throw it down my bag, I am no longer encumbered.
See, that's the other problem, is like, some of it is in your bag, but yet some of these are in your safe.
Yes, Roll20 sucks. The things that are in my safe, I have in my safe, but I keep track of it in my bag for how much I have.
As a way to remind you that you have it?
Yeah, it's a way to remind me that I have it, because I just will not look otherwise.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah, but how do you know which one is in your bag, which one's in your safe?
That's the funny thing. I just remember.
Just remember.
Like how you remembered that you have the medallion in your character sheet?
I'm not gonna lie. I forgot about it simply because I left it in my sheet to be like, okay, I'm gonna make sure On puts it into his sheet. So I left it there. That way, in case like he doesn't put it into his sheet, I have the medallion. We can just say I have the medallion. But then I just never got to actually get on the same page with him.
I mean, I don't know about you, but that actually sounds on par. like the irony is that actually adds up with both him and On's minds and how their memories work.
That's why I was confused about my golden medallion. I was like, I have a golden locket. I don't remember having a golden medallion.
Is this all in recording or is this off recording now?
No, this is on. I mean, I might edit this, who knows, but still.
Nah, let them hear. It's funny.
Alright. Okay, then. Are we cooking rations or are we hunting?
I made a ration. I ate a ration today.
I'll eat a
All right.
ration.
Ration. Let's do it.
Okay.
There we go.
And I will go ahead and mark off a piece of magic wood from Zilyana's character sheet. Alright, so you guys have some rations as you go to bed for the night. As the morning comes, you wake up and start moving forward to your location. Go ahead and move your token right into the circle. Not in the fucking middle. There
Well,
we
you should
go.
have specified.
Exit stage right. Fucking snagglepuss looking ass.
Yeah, I've got piss everywhere. Truly, you are my property now.
Dang it.
Alright. So, we're gonna go ahead and do what we normally do for hunting, but instead of survival, it'll just be in perception and investigation checks. So, pick one person between the three of you who would be giving the perception or investigation.
I can do the investigation because I have a +8.
Okay.
I can do the perception because I have a +6.
All right. Well, who's going first?
You want me to go first, or do you want to? No, he's doing it.
24.
24. All right. After a bit of surveillance around and basically looking around, you manage to find some tracks of several footsteps leading off into the northeast direction of the map of where you're at currently right now. So you go ahead and you follow the trail.
It's this way, guys.
All right, Starzin, roll me an investigation check.
Rolling investigation. Whoppa! Hey, that's 24 as well.
All right. So you go ahead and you search around for any clues or evidence of where else the trail basically goes cold for a little bit due to snow and the wind blowing around the footsteps. As you investigate the land a bit, you've managed to find little droplets of blood going in the north position, to the north direction of the map.
Okay.
One more time, Tide.
Oh, it's all on me. Okay. My investigation is the highest, so I'm gonna do investigate.
Investigate.
I'm re-rolling that with my inspiration.
Natural one. Natural one.
Nat effing 1. Okay, that's somewhat better. 16.
That is much better.
Fine.
That's a 10-point difference right there.
That is a 10-point difference.
Fucking Christ. Alright. After a bit with the snow getting into your eye, you quickly wipe away and you find the path continues further up, and in the distance you see your target location. Just keep your token right there.
Yep.
Okay.
I am not touching.
I just quietly whistle and just point towards where the location is. Should we stealth in, or should we go in gun blade?
Hang on. I haven't described what the outside looked like yet.
Okay, fair enough. Sorry.
Down,
I'm
boy.
excited. I'm excited.
I said down, boy.
God.
Alright. Nestle in the heart of a quiet frost-laced glade, the ancient temple of Vienne lies in ruins beneath a blanket of snow and in a blanket of snow. Once a radiant sanctuary where worshippers of the goddess of magic and nature, the temple now stands as a pale echo of its formal grace. Time and blight have not been kind to this once beautiful stonework. Graceful carvings of flora, leaping stags, and sacred runes of balance and magic are now defaced. Cracked by weathers, scored by pirate blades, and overgrown with blackened vines that pulse with unnatural life beneath the snow.
Definitely does seem like their handiwork.
Even the temple out here isn't free from their work.
So what's the plan?
The first thing we need to do is we need to go in quiet. We can't risk us being seen and spotted, or else they might try to kill Mr. Thorin.
Zilyana will go ahead and poke her head between you two, and then slowly holds up Stich.
I was just thinking that too. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, that's actually a smarter idea.
He can send him in, and I can see through his eyes. Maybe you can cast invisibility, so that way he doesn't get spotted easily.
Good plan.
I think I'm pretty stealthy too. Could also cast invisibility on me.
Yeah, but you're big. He's tiny.
Yeah, but I think I'm pretty sure I'm a little bit more quieter than him too.
Well, Sips, while I don't doubt your stealth capabilities, here's the thing. The invisibility won't last forever. And most importantly, we don't exactly have a whole lot of time on our side. And if we do it like this, Zilyana can see through his eyes and actually report back to us what she sees as she stands right here. If we were to cast it on you, you would have to go in and then run back here to tell us what to do.
Plus, if he gets in danger, I can use magic to get him out of there.
That too. If you get into a tight spot, we'll be delayed trying to get to you.
I'm probably the only one who'll probably get to you the fastest.
I don't doubt that you can hold your own against them all, against whatever's in there, Sips. But we have to do this. But we have to do this as a team.
No, I get that. I'm just saying, it's your choice.
How about this?
I wanted to give you the option.
How about this? If you think you're so clever on stealthiness, how about you get ahead of us, be more stealthier than the rest? No, wait, no, then you'd be too far to hear any words. So stay here for now. When we know more, then you could stealth in. How about that?
Once we scout the perimeter, then we can make a proper approach.
Just give me the information that you find. Maybe I can find us a route to the room.
Maybe.
No doubt that.
All right. Zill and Stich, you ready?
Yeah.
All right.
She goes ahead and Stich basically, gets ready for you to touch him.
All right. Let's do this. And he is gonna cast invisibility on Stich.
All right. As you cast invisibility on him, you just see him walking in the snow for a bit, just like as he flies off.
Not gonna lie, I was half hoping that Zilyana would have just tossed him in the air as he turned invisible and just goes zzzz.
And then face plants into the snow. Alrighty. So, with that being said, and because I want to make this a little bit more interesting since, well, Zilyana's not here. I'm going to go ahead and have everybody have access to Stich, so that way everybody can see through him.
Okay.
So, because of that, he will go ahead and roll stealth with advantage because he is invisible. And Stich got a 17.
Pretty good.
All right.
I'm gonna go ahead and cut off the music and play some Dark Creepy Atmosphere. We'll play sneaky. Nope, that's not it.
Start creepy atmosphere, sneaky.
You know what? Fuck you. We're doing sneaky.
I don't mind.
Sneaky snake.
Alright. So, first thing that happens, Stich goes ahead and creeps down the side of the wall into the main area. He goes ahead and walks into the room, and he walks in to see two pirates standing at guard. One of them is yawning, how bored they are. Another one is just standing at attention like he was meant for this kind of job, while another one is using a whetstone to sharpen his blade, just trying to occupy himself as he is doing his job. As you see a small little twig-like creature just nestle himself into the stonework as he just vanishes into the ruined stone of the collapsing wall.
Oh, he just did a Homer Simpson bush.
Yeah.
Bush disappear.
Yep.
So there are 3 directions he can go to. Up, down, left, and right.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Think he should go up.
I'm thinking down, actually.
Sips.
Oh, dearest Clyde, are you there?
Bathroom.
Ah.
Fair enough.
Flip a coin.
Eeny, meeny, miny. I'm first mate. We go my way.
Alright,
Wow.
so...
I'm just kidding.
Abuse of power. I call hacks.
You call it hacks. I call it chronic lack of skill.
Oh my god, I can't believe he pulled his cock out.
Oh, he's pulling his cock up.
Anyway, so... Sips, which way do you want to go? Up, down, left, or right?
He said he was in the bathroom.
Yeah, he said he was in the bathroom.
Fuck him, he could shout.
Wow.
Just piss in the direction you want to go.
Just piss.
Oh.
He's a feral cat. He can just shotgun it.
Yeah, that goes full circle.
Mr. Piss and Mr. Statue, please tell me what you want.
You know, while we're waiting for
alright.
while we're waiting for Clyde, Stich is gonna go ahead and do some chicanery.
Oh, I wonder what's chicanery.
19, that's actually some pretty good chicanery.
Through his eyes, you see that he goes up to the sleeping one and ties his shoelaces together.
Oh my god, that's great.
He does that one laugh for that one dog from Wacky Races.
Yeah, I know that.
one.
I know that one.
Summoned.
All right, you have 3 directions to go to: up, down, left. Up, down, and left.
Oh,
I voted for up. Creepah's voted for down. You're the tiebreaker.
Or maybe you could just pick left and throw us all off.
what if I say right?
Well, that'll be
Right just brings them
outside.
back to us. Right just brings them back to us.
Yeah,
We
the
already know
ups-
what's out there.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. What if I just vote left?
You know what? Zilyana's choice. DM's choice.
All right, I'm gonna roll a d4. What am I saying? Good adventurers go left.
Oh my god.
So left
It's
she
back.
shall go.
Alright.
He goes ahead and flies over the wrought iron fence that acts as a balcony, seeing the first room's floor. As he flies over, he sees a scattering of broken pews littering the floor, along with a vandalized altar with the graffiti and vines coming in and through it. Yeah, thick vines growing out of the broken altar. A pirate is looking at a map of the Leviathan Empire as he's just checking off bits and pieces of it. Not quite sure what he's writing down on it. You just, based off the sight of it, he just sees that it's the map of the Leviathan Empire. So, that being said, as Stich flies over, crawling on the ceiling, there are 2 directions to go to. One that goes left, and one that goes top right.
Left.
Left.
Top right.
So something else I will go ahead and do, because I feel like I'm doing this wrong. You could give Stich commands, like search around the room, open up that door, look through it, stuff like that.
Oh.
So is there anything you want him to do in this room?
Nothing really.
Get more information on that map.
Okay.
Actually, yeah.
All right.
Map.
All right.
That
You'll
might
go
actually lead us to where it is.
He'll go ahead and fly over, and he will go ahead and roll a perception check to see the map, to see what's all on it. With the 16, based off of what you guys are gleaming and how clear the view is, it would appear that this map contains all the places that they have been to in the Leviathan Empire.
Hmm.
And so far, the route that they have taken goes as follows. As they were originally, what it looked like that their journey started in the land of Tarim, and it took them, and the first took them to the island of Redgrove, leading them up to Crescent Bay Island, traveling to the Snowtip Islands, which finally led them to Everglow.
Hmm.
And there's like some notes on the side of it. One of them is like from Redgrove, is like good ale, but crap people. The other one
Honestly, fair.
The other one is from Crescent Bay, is like too many Dragonborns live here.
Yeah, fair. Dragonborn's
Fair.
Are you done? Asshole?
Triggered.
Triggered.
Damn well believe. Right. So Snowtip says met a strange fellow. Met a strange air genasi fellow. Had a weird book with him. Captain seemed interested. We moved on. And then
no.
And then Everglow.
And no notes on Everglow?
Not yet, at least. It would appear that he's trying to come up with a note here. Anyways. Moving on. So yes, there are two routes to go to. There's left and upright.
Left, top, right, left.
I want to go left because I saw something in the corner Stich's perspective.
Okay, so 2 votes for left then?
Yep, because Clyde originally said top right.
Alrighty. Go ahead and you go down this hallway. It leads to 2 areas. It's a very long, thin hallway, with a door ahead of you.
Alright. Could Stich attempt to see if the door's locked?
You can try. He goes ahead and flies over to the handle, gives it a quick jiggle. It is indeed locked. However, he hears the sound of somebody on the inside as he calls out, "Who's there?"
Oh, looks like we found out where they potentially have the captive. Potentially.
It sounds like a young female voice.
I was about to say.
In that case,
what it sounded like.
Oh, in that case, well.
Is that you, Derek?
Oh God.
Oh, it's her. No.
Who's her?
I'm assuming, so don't mind me.
Okay.
If he's assuming something, I have no idea what he's assuming.
I have no idea
I'm
what
just
the
gonna
fuck
point
he's
that
assuming
out.
either.
But because my assumption is going to be 100% different.
I only have 2 assumptions, so I could be wrong on both.
Okay.
Okay, buddy.
Look, I could be wrong on both. Okay, I'm not saying them. I most
Alright.
likely am wrong on both. So
That's fine. Okay, well, okay. So up or down, that's our choice from this point, or go back to the top right area. I saw something that from the down perspective looked like a hostile, so
yeah. Wanna go down
attempted to
tower?
go that way to at least get an idea of what it is.
Sure. I'm okay with going
Yeah.
down.
All right,
Alright.
Clyde, you okay with that?
Yes, I'm okay with that.
I labeled all these floors. I gotta make sure that we're all going in the right direction with what floor you're at. So you said you're going
Okay.
down, correct?
Yep, down.
Okay. You go ahead and you send Stich down into this room. A broken bench covered in vines and a collapsed lower right corner of debris. There seems to be a pirate smoking on a pipe, taking a break.
Okay.
Okay. Doesn't seem like there's a path to the left. Oh.
There's 2 paths, one to the left, one to the right.
I think the one to the right leads back down towards where initially you wanted to go. At least that's what I'm mapping out in my head.
Well, I say we go ahead and go that way just to confirm it.
Okay.
Alright. Right you go. All the way into room number 4. You head into an overgrown chamber with thick vines covering the floors and mushrooms that, giant mushrooms to be more precise, litter the right side of the wall.
Ooh.
Okay, that's a problematic room.
Yep.
And I'll go ahead and give you room 5 for free because you can just see it right there. It is a rubble storage room. Piles of broken stone and discarded debris is in there. It would appear, and you could actually see it as you travel through the many rooms in this building. They did some cleaning up by throwing all the extra rubble that they couldn't move, that they could move into this room.
Alright, so keep going right then.
If I can guess what the right path is, I think I know what it is.
I'm pretty sure I know what it is too, I just want it confirmed.
Yep.
Make it over to room 3, where you see the supply and sleeping quarters. You see 2 pirates sleeping in their bedrolls, while one of them is playing a game of solitaire by themselves. Another one is drinking water while keeping an eye on the crates, as the crates are covered in creeping vines. Well, some of them are covered in creeping vines.
Okay.
Alright.
So we can go farther back. We can go far back left to investigate there, or we can go up from the main entrance. Go back to the main entrance and go up that way. Since we've largely just done one circle.
I saw something at the upper area initially, and it caught my attention. So I think we should go up.
I'm fine with going up.
Alright. Go ahead and you fly up to room number 9.
Ooh.
More doors and a blight.
This room 1 bright, to be more exact.
You head over to an overgrown hall. Vines on the left wall. It extends onto the floor, while you see a mycelic blight just standing guard next to an open door.
Okay. We can see the 2 doors, right? And Could we tell if they are closed and or closed?
I imagine the one on the north is closed, and the one to immediate
Right.
right is open.
Could we at least get a visual path of the right door, since it appears to be open?
As you go ahead and you command Stich to fly up a little bit further upwards, you see that the room that leads into the right door, it looks to be a mess hall of some kind, as you see pirates eating food at one of the tables, laughing and talking amongst themselves, just like, yeah. It's like, cold as fuck. One of them is like, it's cold as fuck out here.
I'm freezing my ass off.
And I will go ahead and preference this. Despite all these tokens having humans on them, there are various races. They're just not all human.
I was going to assume that they weren't all human. But fair enough, thank you.
Yeah, not a problem. Yeah, you see some half-orcs, you see some tieflings talking amongst themselves, you see a... Strangely enough, you actually see a water genasi as one of the pirates as well. But yes, that is what you see in room 10, the dining room.
I don't feel comfortable going to the door directly above us, because I'm afraid if we try to mess with it, it's going to get the attention of that blight.
I agree.
I say we go to the door above us, just because chaos.
I'm fine with chaos, but not at this time.
So, one vote for above, one vote for
Left?
left, and one vote
Left.
for right?
No,
I didn't make
left.
a vote yet.
Oh, yeah.
I'm making a vote for left.
Alright, 2 votes for left. As you have Stich fly to the left, the door on the top swings open as you see a pirate wander through with a plate of food and makes his way over to one of the tables.
That could
Oh,
be
well, that just
then.
kind of solves our quarry about that.
Well, now Sips has a reason to go in there. It's a kitchen. It has all sorts of spices.
Corrupted spices.
Spices do not lean between evil or good. They are spices. Anyways,
So as you
He's
fly-
gonna go in there, see what they are, and start going full Gordon Ramsay.
okay.
So as you guys fly over to the door, you see that there's a hallway that goes down, but you continue flying over to the door. As he jiggles the handle, it would appear that the door is unlocked.
Ooh. Do we want to go through the door?
Fuck it.
Stealthily go through the door? Oh! oh.
That is,
That's a lot of nope. Yeah, how about you describe that?
Belay that order. Belay that order. Alright. So describe what you are seeing. Essentially, you see 13 black plant things filled with strange fluids that are inside them, while vines snake across the floor.
Oh. My brain's jumping to something and I don't like that.
I don't know about you, but I'm starting to get flashbacks to exploding snakes.
But anyways, you're in this room. What do you want to do?
Well, we don't really have any reliable means to guess what's going to be behind either the upper door or the lower door, so...
True.
Now, keep in mind, you could have Stich investigate rooms while he's in them.
That's what my vote was going to be, to investigate the room, more specifically one of the pods, without touching it.
Yeah, that's actually fair enough. I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Because I'm hoping my intuition's wrong.
Which pod do you want to look at?
Which one of these looks like the one that's been recently planted? You know what, how about this one?
Alright, you go ahead and you fly over to that pod, and inside of this like viscous green fluid, you see something. It's actually hard to make out, so I'm gonna have Stich roll a perception check.
Oh no. That's
With
an
an
11.
Yeah, with an 11, as far as he can see in there, it does seem like something plant-based is growing, and it looks to be of medium size, but at most he can't tell what kind of plant is being grown inside of it.
I don't want to jump to conclusion. I think I'm starting to get context clues.
Yeah. I either have two thoughts now. Both aren't good. Should we try investigate another, or should we go for a door?
Let's, oh, well, that sounds like someone coming through.
What the bloody hell? Who opened this door? Goes ahead and steps on in.
Whisper your mom.
Hello? Is anybody in here? You know, well, not really our captain per se, but you know what the general's orders are? This door needs to remain closed.
I would say Stich needs to probably, take the opportunity to go out through the open door as quietly as he can. Probably
for the best, yeah.
As that happens, you see another one comes up to you. It would appear to be a half-orc looking fellow as he walks up and Oi! Hey, oi, der! What's with all the yelling? I don't know, I just saw the door open. I thought somebody came in here or something like that, or one of it got out. Oh, you mean the blights? No, they're not done incubating yet. Need time.
Wonderful.
Oi. Close the door, get out of there. Place gives me the heebie-jeebies. Alright, fine. As he, closes the door.
Uh-oh.
Well, shit. So there wasn't even a good opening for him to slip out.
Apparently not. Is the other doors locked?
Which door do you want to go to?
Let's go north.
Fuck it. Let's go north then.
Alright, the door seems to be unlocked.
Oh. And if I'm right, this might just lead back to the kitchen. Close the door! Close the door!
Boss is even more paranoid than I am.
Yeah! This is why I don't do rogue stuff!
As you fly down the hallway and you reach to the 11th room, the makeshift kitchen, you see that one fellow that was both giving the food into the dining room and also the one that was investigating why the door was open. It would appear that he would be the chef, as he heads over to the crate, into a cage that has hay in it, and plucks out which has chickens inside of it, plucks out a couple of chicken eggs and heads over to the pots.
Hey, I have a dumb idea.
Oh no.
Does Gibbs have poison? Does he have any poison stuff?
What?
Unfortunately, Stich does not have poison on him, but I like that idea, and I kind of wish that would have been done. Holy shit! But to be fair, you haven't explored the rest of the room, so there might be poison around.
Mmm.
There might be something we could use. Well,
have Stich take a shit inside the pot.
I mean, that could work. Actually, hold on. I want to see something real quick. Hang on.
I don't want that now since the poison's not an option, but I'm just like, oh, that's so nasty. I love it nasty.
Honestly, honestly, the best part is we could do it and get away with it.
Yeah. How about in the stew when they're away, when they're looking away?
All right. So you're gonna wait until this cook is out of the way. Gotcha.
We're actually gonna...
Why not? Why not? We're gonna disrupt.
You know what? Fuck it. No, fuck it. Let's do it. Fuck it. Let's do it.
Kind of shit in this stew.
Look, I feel like Sips would also like this idea.
Oh my god.
I don't know, Clyde. What would Sips like this idea?
No, not Sips. I meant Stitch. My bad. I'm sorry. I'm so excited.
All right. Oh, after a good couple of minutes, you see that she leaves the kitchen.
Go, 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 go.
Go. Take a dump. Take a dump.
And here I will go ahead and place the fart with reverb. And add a little bit more flavor into it. He goes ahead and pisses into the pot.
Yes.
You fucking donkey. What are you doing?
Go to the right afterwards. Should we go to the right?
Oh my god.
You know that one, like, car sticker of, like, Calvin and Hobbes where Calvin is pissing?
Yeah.
No.
That's what I'm glad Boss does. I just imagine that with Stitch.
I mean, we could try to go right. I'm inclined to go down, but if we want to go right, that's fine.
Kind of want to go right.
Alright, we go right.
Oh, I can't wait for the chaos to happen.
Anyways, you said to the right?
Yeah, right.
Before Stitch goes off to the right, he's going to go ahead and go over to one of the bags, plucks up an apple, then flies off.
Of course. Nom, 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 nom.
Hey, poisoning is hungry work.
I mean, he did lost a pound off of that. Maybe even more.
God.
Alright. As he enters room 12, a partially destroyed room.
Okay.
Both the north and east walls have collapsed.
Okay, so it's just down south, I guess it's towards where the dining area is going to be. At least a pathway to it. Ooh, never mind. This is
here is like it's basically an empty room, where inside you see one of the pirates is just hanging out. It looks like he's having a conversation with the Blights. Essentially, he's like, and then I told him, that's not a knife, that's your mother!
They just look at each other like they're trying to understand it.
They're just T-posing. You lot are no fun. I don't get why the captain wants you all around. Mindless plant constructs. As he goes ahead and pushes one. But due to the fact that they are plant constructs, does not retaliate.
Good to know.
As he will go ahead and walk over, Stitch goes out of the way as he opens up the door.
Follow him.
As you follow behind, it leads into the dining room.
Yep, so this just kind of made a another big circle. So
Yep.
okay,
What?
so
You know, the north is pretty much where the dining room and their incubation for the blights are. At least we're guessing, for the most part.
judging by what they said, I think it's a safe bet to say that.
The south is where pretty much the recreational and storage is.
Yep. So the only place we haven't really investigated fully was entirely to the left, past that main altar where the guy was
The
fucking with the
northwest.
map.
Yeah,
So I think
And
that's where
north-
we should head next.
and the north left. North left, so far we don't know of a pattern there unless it leads back to the incubation chamber.
And chances are it probably is. Because if I'm able to guess the layout properly, that's probably what it is, and honestly I don't think we should double back through there because that's gonna start getting suspicious.
I have an idea. We know we just poisoned their food with the stew, right?
Yeah?
What if we wait for their next serving to come, and we help stir up some chaos by him throwing some food at the kitchenaire when he's getting blamed for this?
Wouldn't that break concentration on invisibility?
Technically, invisibility only breaks if he makes an attack or the spell ends for a target that attacks or casts a spell. So, as long as he isn't attacking or casting a spell,
Does
it
throwing
technically doesn't
food...
break it.
I mean, does technically throwing food at somebody count as attacking them?
I don't think so. Not unless you're throwing
Eh.
food with some sort of sharp implement or trying to kill and do damage. This is more or less trying to smear food or throw food on them.
That entirely depends on what your definition of an attack is.
I think an attack is if you're trying to... If you're, throwing something at somebody, using a bow and attacking with that, or basically anything that revolves around an attack roll, which odds are that's probably going to be it if you're going to be throwing food at somebody.
More than likely.
They don't call it a food fight for a reason.
I mean, if it was to be a distraction, that'd be one thing. But yeah, I feel like because that would be an attack, because that would technically classify as an attack in some form or fashion.
Okay. You're
That's a
right.
gray area.
It was a simple suggestion.
Sorry.
Add fuel to a fire, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Are we good
Would
on
be a
that,
good idea.
Or do we want to know where they... We haven't found him yet, though. We haven't found the priest.
Yeah. Yeah, there's only a few places where we could look at this point.
Alright, let's go.
And I think
back.
all of them are, to the left.
I agree. There's still one door we haven't checked that's to the bottom left, and there's a path to the back right up that hasn't been checked yet, so let's go there.
What room do you want him... What room do you want Stich to be in?
Back past the altar where the pirate was checking on the map.
Yeah.
So we've gone down from that intersection.
Yeah. And there is a door down here path we didn't check, but it might be locked. Most likely.
And there is a path up we haven't checked.
Go up path?
Wait, hold on. What door?
Through this small gap path here, I saw a door.
Ow.
Oh! There wasn't
No,
a
there
door.
wasn't a door. No, there
must
wasn't a
have been
door. It was just a path.
Sorry.
I mean,
Do we-
I can go ahead and show you. There's a door right there.
It leads back. Okay.
And to that
So let's
room.
go north. Let's go back to that. No, wait, it doesn't. Maybe. It might be. Let's leave it alone. Let's go up.
Alright. Up we go. Follow the path upward.
Well, it diverts now. One has a door. The other more paths. I think that's just leading back to where the map room was. The bottom.
Yeah, because by definition that door is gonna take the door that's like right over here towards the left is gonna lead us back to the room with the incubating blights.
Mm-hmm.
And then if we go rightwards and go down, actually that one probably wouldn't take us. Actually, no, this one would take us back to the map room. Because if we go down, then we go left. Yeah, it's going to take us back to the main altar.
Back to the main altar. And if
realistically,
we go north,
that just takes us back up to the main, where that blight is standing guard, the dining room, the kitchen, and the incubation chamber.
The only room we did not check was at that one bottom, the locked room one.
Yep.
One young lady voice.
Yep. So, that door's locked. We can't really go in there. There is another one that's like...
We could try the other door, see if it's locked, but it might be. Probably will be.
I mean, it's worth checking, let's be honest. Because we haven't checked, because that's like the only place we haven't looked.
Might as well. And if we start hearing commotion and so forth, then I think we should start making our way.
Yeah, so down from that intersection behind the pirate. Left, and then up to check the door, see if it's locked.
Locked. Okay, who is the asshole that keeps on interrupting me? I'm trying to do something here.
Okay. Definitely not a prisoner, so it's definitely somebody important. So the priest is not here.
Well, we can't just... Well, unfortunately, even if he isn't here, the best reliable option we have is that someone... Is that the best thing we have to go off of is... Someone here likely knows where he is, or something along those lines. So, we kind of have to go in.
I mean, information's information, so let's go. Actually, before then, I want Sips to go back to that dining room area, if he can.
Stitch.
You heard, boss Sips go into the dining room.
Hold on.
Yes, sir, I run in there.
Yeah! Oh my god, let's do this. Leroy Jenkins. Oh my god, he fucking ran in. Oh,
that just
fuck.
That just gives me a funny idea for when we get back to the ship.
All I have to do, DM, is I activate my Boots of Haste, activate my Tabaxi Power, dash on top of that. I have Break the Speed of the World. Go.
All right.
What's up, viewers of Primordials?
You say you're going. You said you're going to the kitchen, right?
No. The
Or the dining room.
Yeah, the dining room. I want. If this is okay with you guys, I would like Stitch to stay in the dining room, and when chaos starts happening, try to feed the flames as much as possible without being discovered. How about this? How about he lets us know when the chaos starts and we make our way in?
Okay. I think there might be a problem.
What?
Zilyana, we're gonna have to drag Zil the whole way because while she's looking through Stitch, she can't see through her own eyes. And unless we get close enough for her to like telepathically communicate with Stitch, that's not gonna be the best option.
Okay.
And I don't remember, and I don't know if there's a range, and I don't know what the range on that is. And I can't look because I also don't know what the rules on that particular aspect of familiars are.
All right, which one of you fucks pissed in the stew?
Well, I guess we didn't have to wait long for that.
I rolled. He taste tested the stew. Dirge, what are you talking about, Dirge? Some fucking asshole pissed in the stew. I've had about being the stew on me right now. No, it was fine when I last checked it before I gave it to you. Some fucking drunk dumbass pissed in it. As one of them pops up and says, how would you know what piss tastes like? Because because the gods piss in my mouth every day I wake up on this goddamn crew.
Damn. Tell us how you really feel. Oh my fucking god.
The worst thing is, they found out about the piss, but not the shit.
Doesn't know about the shit, no. To be fair, it wasn't stirred in.
Give it a minute. It's got to set.
It's got to steep.
Alright, after a bit, is like, Greg, come and help me dump this out. Alright, fine, I'll help you dump it out. As you see this Goliath man help come over and basically take the pot of stew, basically leave and take the pot of stew out.
Well, not the plan I wanted, but I guess it's better than not.
I rolled to see if this chef would taste test it before serving it, which he rolled high, so he taste tested it and then got the taste of both piss and shit.
Wait a minute. They're cleaning out and they're out of the kitchen again, aren't they?
They are.
Yeah.
We can mess with more shit there.
Oh my god, boss.
I'm just joking.
Oh my god.
What's our plan here? Do we want to go in stealthily? Do we want to go guns blazing? What? Do you want to mess with more shit in the kitchen? Rile up the chef a bit more?
No, it's just... Oh my god. It's funny, but I think we're dragging it out.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Let's try stealth then. Let's try stealth.
Yeah, let's...
Now, I will say, to be fair, we have not checked the room that was locked.
Yeah,
Whoa.
but can Sips really go in the room that's locked?
Well,
Stich.
Well, Stich has mimicry. Maybe he can mimic one of the pirates and get the girl to pop open the door.
I have one. What if she just mimicked the voice of the voice we just heard? Somebody pissed in the stew.
Stich
You son of a bitch, I'm in. You son of a bitch, I'm in.
Alright. As Stich flies down the hallway, following the two to a certain point. As they make their way up the stairs, you go ahead and you continue down in further to the left as you make your way over to this door. Well, if you want to try that door. Do you want to try the other door for this?
Let's try the other door.
Yeah, let's try the other door. Less suspicion.
Yeah.
Alright. So, how do we want to do this? He just shouts in that voice that somebody pissed in the stew?
We could do that, or we could do we want to assume it's the captain, or do we want to assume it's like a general or somebody?
Well, he can only mimic the voice that he heard, so it will be that one pirate chef.
Mm.
The pirate chef would probably be the best idea.
Yeah.
Alright. As he goes ahead and Stich says, which one of you fucks pissed in the stew? As you hear a as the door basically flings open, as you hear the sound of locks, as you see a gnomish-looking woman, it appears to be in a bathrobe of some kind with makeup on her. It's like, just like looks like she's about to yell, but seeing that nobody's there, just is like looking around. Just like, what the fuck is going on? As she goes ahead and closes the door and locks it back up. As you arrive to room 7, you see bookshelves, wine shelves, a table with food, a chest, and a bedroll.
Hmm.
And among that, you actually see this gnomish woman goes ahead and, with a bag, she goes ahead and pulls out a couple of rose petals as she takes it to one side of the door and leaves a trail up to the bed, and does the other door as well, just in case he comes in through one or the other. As she will go ahead and make the bed as nice and plush with the rose petals on top.
Huh.
Damn, someone's thirsty.
Apparently so. Do we see what's on the table?
Yes. On the table, you see some food, candles, and some books. One of them would appear to be an open book with a quill on the inside of it. Would appear to be some kind of journal.
Do we want to look at the journal?
Look, but don't touch.
Yeah.
Goes ahead and hops onto the table and looks at it in a way that you all can see it. And on the page that it's at, it says, it says the day's date, essentially. And it basically reads out and says, been trying to interrogate this old man for about a couple of days now. So far, gotten nothing. He's a very stubborn, winter Eladrin, I can tell you that much. The captain is is not very much happy with the lack of results, but stuff like this takes time. She'll understand. In the meantime, have him secluded in the secret room near the dining hall.
I knew it. Something was up. Alright. That's good.
Alright.
We know where he is.
There's a secret room near the dining hall.
Alright. So, I think we might have a problem.
The fact that is it the fact that Stich is stuck in a room, or
Is it the fact that Stich been discovered?
Well, the fact that first of all, how do you know the doors are locked? Second of all, yeah, the doors are locked, and if he tries to do the mimicry again, it'll sound like he's in the room. So, I mean, I can get him out of there. I can summon him right next to me if I want, but, well...
Won't that cause some noise?
No, it doesn't cause noise. It's just going to be taking time out of how... And also, I think the visibility would wear off if that would be the case if he vanishes from this plane of reality.
More than likely, but, I mean, the thing is, I agree. We could get him out that way, and then just try to stealth in, because on the bright side, we have enough information to have a layout of the temple and where they're keeping Mr. Thulren. Problem is that we don't know where the secret room is.
You can leave that to me. I have a knack of finding secret rooms and passageways.
And even then, we're gonna have to fight our way over there to make sure that we stay a step ahead of them.
That's the real problem. At least we need to stay a step ahead of them before they can reach the secret passageway. I think I already know where it might be.
And at the very least, we need to ensure that they can't summon more blights from those from that incubation area. Assuming that they have the ability to hasten the process or something. I don't know. I don't like the idea of just leaving that one alone.
I don't think they can. They said they still have to incubate a bit longer. I don't think there's a way to fasten the process unless there's some sort of risk to it.
True.
If that was the case and without any problems, they would have done it by now.
I guess you got a point there.
So,
Or we could.
I don't think Stich wants to leave yet.
Does he want to try to wait out the invisibility timer to see if he can sit there and wait?
No, he seems to be enjoying himself watching the view.
He's gonna. Stars is just gonna squint his eyes and just give himself a face palm with his real hand.
I gotta say though, that gnome has a fine ass.
Of course, that's gotta.
Please focus. Not on
At this
the
point,
ass.
I'm starting to wonder if this is just one of you or both of you doing this.
Yes.
You know what? How about we take this as a benefit? She seems like to be the leader of all this. As long as she's being preoccupied in there, it's best that
What
he
makes
stay
you-
there and keep an eye.
Rosira pipes up, what makes you think that she's the leader in all this?
Well, she's got the one with the secret room that's all locked up and everything. She apparently has the notes and dates and record keeping. She talks about the captain directly.
Based off the sound of it, I don't think that's her quarter. That's her living quarters.
Might not be, but in any case, she is either just another grunt, or a more powerful grunt, or even then the one running the operation in this area. I'm not 100% sure, but if there is someone else that's calling the shots here, and we haven't seen them, that's a problem.
Not to mention, we need to take care about all those blights before they hatch. Imagine all them hatching and the town neck nearby will be crushed, like before.
Well, considering... Judging from what I was getting from Frostgate, I don't think that's a likely possibility.
You're probably right.
But
we'll be a fight.
Well, there'd be a fight, but if we can find a way to get Mr. Thulgrin out, and then find a way to ensure that those incubation pods are either destroyed or rendered inert, then we shouldn't have to worry about it. But right now, I'm more concerned about trying to get Mr. Thulgrin out.
Agreed. Right now, I don't think there's any way for us to sneak in unless we're invisible and small.
Unfortunately, after using one use of invisibility, I've only got enough energy left to send another person in. And even then, it's only going to be just one in. And Stich is going to lose his invisibility. So we'll have to try to get as close as we can, and then try to catch them by surprise.
Hey, I'm gonna ask something to the DM themselves before I suggest something.
Okay.
Did you prepare an outside of the map for this area?
Maybe.
Oh.
Why do you ask?
Well, I was going to ask or suggest that we could potentially do a lore bait tactic. Lure out as many as we can and then hammer down. And then go in.
Too risky.
Well,
Because- Well, the reason I say that is because it would lure them out, yes, but the more dangerous ones would probably be getting to the captive, and that could be problematic.
Mm.
And by then, it's a hostage situation. So I think trying to stealth up to it and try to go in and then fight our way through it might be our best option.
I agree on that. Alright. But on one condition. Me and Seps blitzkrieg towards where I think the captive might be.
Oh, you two are taking. Oh yeah, you two are taking the front. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that.
There's one thing I can do, Rilzera says. I can cast Silence. I can... Even though it will hinder those who are spellcasting, who can cast spells, it would... If I put it in the front door area, we would cause less suspicion if we take out those guards that are there.
That's actually not a bad idea. If we can do that and subdue them quickly, none of them will be any of the wiser, unless they're looking down the hallway anyway.
Have you thought about... Since you mentioned that, and I twirl my gun, me and Starzin here could start unloading our guns without worry.
Well, that might prove a problem.
How so?
I'm just saying.
Well, think about it like this. While there won't be any sounds, if a bullet leaves the silence area and starts ricocheting, that's gonna startle them.
That's true. But if we aim at a wall more so than down a hallway, I think we should be fine, right?
That was my plan.
Should be, but that means we have to take our shots carefully then. We have to make sure that the bullets stay in the silence.
So I can use this up to 6 times, but after 3 times of using it, will creep into my higher power of casting spells.
Right, so we get...
i.e. 3 second level, 3 third level spells.
How about we just have a reserve of 2 and don't go for extraordinary amount unless absolutely necessary?
Yeah, I think we should just focus on using it twice. Once at the front door and then once in another part to ensure that we can get the jump on them.
In that case, then, I think our best course of action would be, because based off of what we saw on the map, floor 1 connects to floor 2 in an open area with a gate kind of a fence, an iron fence, acting as a balcony of some kind. So altogether, we would have 4, 5, including that blight that went into the rubble, 5 targets inside of 2 floors. Then we gotta keep in mind that when we attack, we're gonna be right next to the sleeping quarters.
Yeah, and if any of those guys go on high alert, we're gonna be up in our necks with pirates and blights.
I think that's the best plan we have. Couple that with our blitz, couple that with me and Sips' blitz to the secret door. That's pretty much the best we got right now. Unless somebody else got any miracles up their sleeves.
I think right now that's the best we have.
So then, the plan is, to start off combat, I'll go ahead and cast Silence on the first floor. You take out those guards that are there, and we try to knock out the one that with the map near the altar.
Yeah, I think we should do that.
Yeah, I think those were actually where you might want to put your 2 silences. Front door and near the
Well,
that guy.
I can only cast Silence one at a time.
Right, sorry.
Well, if this sounds like a plan that we want to follow through, then I suggest we prepare ourselves for this little raid that we're about to do.
Agreed. Zil, call Stich back.
Okay, fine. As you hear this, he doesn't say it out loud, but it's a no, wait, damn it!
In the astral realm of where the hell his original plane is, he's like, God damn it, you need to make me finish.
He took me away from my tits. No.
Yeah, I imagine I imagine he just comes back and it's just like we just hear Quagmire go, "Damn it! Damn it!"
Oh my god, Stich would be the Quagmire.
Of course he is. Of course he is.
Just less rapey.
Yeah. Yeah, that just happens. I'm just looking at both of them like horny fuckers.
The way I see it, it's a reward for him for getting all that information.
Wouldn't a better reward just be you smothering him in yours?
Well, I do that all the time.
You know what? I'm not gonna have this conversation now. We have more important shit to do.
Good, because I don't want to continue this conversation while Zilyana's not here.
Alright,
Anyways.
plan attack, so...
As you guys prep yourself for the raid ahead, as with what spells and tactics you'll use inside the Temple of Fiane, this is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Oh. This is gonna be interesting.
This match will get red hot.
Now go!
Now go.
Alright, so... with that being said, let's go ahead and get voting out of the way. Clyde.
Clyde?
I'm here.
Who do you vote for?
Boss.
For what reason?
Roleplay.
Okay. I'll go ahead and take that. Boss, who do you vote for?
I want to vote for... Well, there's one I want to vote for Sips for that roleplay between her and Tide. But then again, I also kind of want to vote for myself for that disgusting idea of the stew.
Yeah, unfortunately, because of that taste test, it would have went great. People would have been sick, but it was just the fact that I rolled, and it's just like, nah, he tastes the soup.
Yeah, we still made it work. We still used the voice to get in.
You just had to piss on our parade.
I mean, we still use the voice to get in. I think that's still a win. I'll vote for Sips, because I don't like voting for myself. For the roleplay he had with Tide and getting more open about things, seeing from his perspective.
Okay. And, Starzin, who do you vote for?
Boss. Let chaos reign. Motherfucker went for it. I gotta give it to him.
You respect the hustle.
I respect the hustle.
Alright, boss, you get the MVP inspiration.
Yee!
Now time for the coin flip. And today's lucky winner of the day, serving it up, Starzin's way.
Oh yeah, you guys are fucked now. It's over for you gamers.
It's all Jover. Anyways, guys, thank you guys for watching the latest episode of Primordials Bounty. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please do subscribe, follow, leave a like or a comment, and we will talk to you guys next time. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Tune in next time to watch a gnome get fucked. Not the way she wants, either.
Yeah. Bye.